All right, guys. So today we're going to be talking about maximizing your listing. The reason that we're talking about this is because the industry is slowing down. We are all very well aware of that. Using the listing power that you have with every source that you have is really important. Notary Stars included. There's a lot of things that you can do on your listing in order to make sure that you are maximizing your potential. And I'm going to go through those today with you to make sure that you understand how to set up your listing and how it really works. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen here. When you first log into your listing, now this is a dummy listing that I created specifically for this. When you log into your listing, you have some information about Notary Stars that you want to make sure that you read. There's a little welcome video that walks you around the site. And then the first tab that you come to is your contact details. Now I want to explain to you on your contact details tab, this is where your listing ultimately pulls from. Okay, and I see notaries missing this a lot, and we go back in and correct it, but you want to make sure that you get this information in. First of all, unless you are a true signing agency, you are not a company or organization. This is going to deter people from using you. And I've said this in multiple areas. Our site specifically, when we transfer your information over to another company that may be hiring you, if you've marked yourself as a company or organization, that means that you are employing other people. They're not going to hire you. Even if you have an LLC and you consider yourself a company, if you're the only person of that company, you are an individual, and you really want to make sure you mark that. Okay, so you mark yourself as an individual or a person. We have two categories here. You can either be a notary public or real estate attorney. We may have more categories in the near future, but right now you're going to choose notary public. You put in your name as it appears on your commission. This is really important. And I see people doing this in signing order as well. They go in and they put their name as something else, their business name or what have you. You really need your name in this section. This is your personal information, okay? Your email address, this needs to be the email address that you are accepting signings from, okay? Whatever your signing agent email, I see a lot of Notary Stars who put in a different email address and then they sign up and then they change it. People will hire you from the information we send out. If they can't find you and you got a different email in signing order or a different email in SnapDocs and we're pushing you out, you're never going to hear from them because they're tying your listings together from your training. So you want to make sure that your email is correct. Same thing with your phone number. Now, if you do have a company, after you filled in that information, you can put in your company name here. Unlimited Ink Notary is my company name, and your position, okay? You have a short description of 170 characters here. This will show up under your profile photo on a live version of your profile. And then where are you located? This is where you're going to put in your zip code. You don't have to fill in your address, but you do need to put in a zip code, okay? And it's really important that you put in that zip code because this is the ultimate place. Even if you go in and put in more information, this is the ultimate place your listing is going to play from. This is where your SEO starts. So it needs to be in your home zip code. What is the closest to you? Now, if you live 100 miles away from somewhere and you go 100 miles in every day, put in the one that you want to be working in the most. Don't try to play with it too much on Notary Stars because it's going to mess things up for you. Choose a zip code and stick with it. What is the zip code you want? Now, you see this selection of inner website links here. If you have a website, please, especially if you're on the Notary Star or higher listing level or even the Notary Star Lite level, put in your website. This is going to give your website a boost in SEO. Okay? Anytime any site that's reputable allows you to link your personal website or your business website to them, it's going to give you an SEO boost. It's called a backlink, and it's part of the SEO algorithm. Now, We have links for any blogs that you may do, Facebook, business pages, YouTube channels, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Hopefully all of you have at least a LinkedIn. Every single one of those that you fill in is going to give you an SEO boost on your Notary Stars listing and on those listings that you have. You're linking from those to your website, back to here. They call it a World Wide Web for a reason. It's a web. So everything, it's pointing in information. You're going to get a boost by putting those links in there. I see people who have Twitters or YouTubes. Do not put, if you talk about politics, do not put your Facebook in there. Get you a Facebook page and then link it in there. If you talk about, I see notaries who make mistakes of blending notary work with doing nails. Don't put that in there. You want to have specific pages that relate to your notary business that go in there, and your LinkedIn should be in there. And you guys have free access to the LinkedIn thing that I did with Bill Soroka and Sandra Long earlier. Now, the next tab that we come to is your profile photo. This is also really important, guys. I want to make sure that you guys understand that your profile photo should be a picture of yourself. Now, this is a dummy listing. I'm going to show you what a finished listing looks like. Your profile photo should be a picture of you. We have two different photos to choose from. Remember, I've had that video with Carol Ray for years now, where we talked about putting a photo of yourself. And I know I've been told, well, that can be racially profiled or blah, blah, blah. No, it's a picture is worth 1,000 words. Okay. Make sure that you put in your profile photo a good professional photo. If you don't have a good professional photo, iPhones and Samsungs these days are taking great quality photos. Get you a good stand or a good nephew or granddaughter or cousin to come over and get a good against a good background, or you and your desk or your workspace, and take a good photo that you can take the best one you can take. Now, if you have a logo, that's where you would put in your profile logo. That's going to operate differently in different ways when we send out information. And then your cover photo, that I'll show you what that is a little bit later. You can use Canva to create your cover photos. I do recommend that you guys are members of Canva. Even a free membership can get you a lot, to where you can figure out how to put that in there. And I'll show you what it looks like on my finished listing. Now, your listing details, ever so important, okay? Everything that you do inside every listing, and this doesn't just apply to Notary Stars. This applies to 123 Notary, Notary Cafe, everything. But I'm going to teach you some secrets on Notary Stars that you can apply to everywhere. I see notaries skipping by these tick boxes. You'll notice when I click this, you see what happens? This little thing pops up under here. I offer apostille services. I'm not bilingual, so I'm going to leave that alone. I do hospital notaries. I'm not an active process server, so I'm going to leave that alone, but I am a notary public. What I'm doing every time I click one of these boxes is I'm adding a keyword that is searchable on Google to my listing, and this gets hard-coded into your listing, okay? So if someone goes out there and says hospital notary, guess what? Your listing is going to come up. It's going to have a better chance of coming up in the Google searches than if you don't. You can go through, especially if you're at the Notary Star level, I think you have unlimited ways of doing this. The only thing that I ask is that you're honest, okay? You need to be honest about the services and the credentials that you have. You can go through Notary Tools and Supplies. If you have an Android phone or an iPhone, there are maybe certain programs that are looking for what, and when we send this out, all of this information carries over to you, carries over with you. Reliable transportation is another thing. We get asked this question. It's actually why it's on here. When I send these listings out, people have asked me, do they have reliable transportation? Might be a question that you've never been asked on other websites, but here it matters. Mobile dual tray printer, all of these things, it's going to line up your signing order listing with what you already have, and they're going to compare and decide what's the difference between here and there. So you want to make sure that you're looking at everything that you can possibly tick off. Anything that's highlighted in blue will allow you to have a drop-down menu One thing that we added recently, since the first time we filmed this video, was American Sign Language. This is a huge pull for anybody that speaks American Sign Language. This will help you. Now, if you've ever done a Google search that says, and you get that little thing back from Yelp and it says the 10 top attorneys in your area. And you're like, I wasn't searching for that. Notary Stars actually does the same thing. We are using the same website shell that Yelp use. It just looks different to you. Okay, this is the exact same algorithm that they use. So all of these tick boxes are going to combine you into a group, but also give you individual listings at the same time. Same thing that Yelp does, except Yelp charges you for it. We broke this down to a little subgroup, which is notaries and loan signing agents, and created this from a very similar program. It's not the exact same. I didn't buy it from the same developers. It probably costs a lot more, but the exact same concept. So you want to make sure you use every tick box that you can. If you're a wedding officiant, if you are, if you do jail notaries, and I want you guys to know, if you think that there's something that should go in a tick box there, I-9 verification, we've got apostilles. If there's something that you're offering, please email it to contact@notarystars.com. That comes directly to me. I will be happy to consider putting it in there. And that happened after the last time we filmed this. They said, we really need American Sign Language. And I put it in there because it's as simple as that. It's not, I don't have to write a developer. I can put that in there like that. Now, if you write me and say, I do nails on the side, it's not going in there. It's got to be related to our industry and something that we can do either directly as a notary or a dotted line to our notary stamp. Okay. The next thing is your resume here. You can upload a copy of your resume, and that is a really big factor because guess what? When I send out your information, I'm sending your resume that's attached in there with it. Now, whether they look at it, I'll tell you, you got a 0.0001 chance that they're going to zero in on you and look at it. Second way it helps you is on the website. They can open it up and they can look at your resume that you've uploaded. Now, these forms can help you in a lot of ways, okay? Your hours of operation, be honest. Do not put 24/7 notary here. I usually set my business hours on the internet as 1 hour after I know I'll be awake and done with my coffee, and 1 hour before I close. Because you know people are going to call you and try anyway on both sides of the clock. So I put in my business hours. Unlimited Ink, I have more business hours, but if this is my personal listing, I would probably put Monday through Friday. And I would probably put, I usually am up and functioning by 8:30, no later. So I'd put 9:30 a.m. And if they call earlier, great, I'm already ready. But you don't want to put exactly 6 a.m. because you think you're going to be awake at that time. Treat it very professional. You will get more clients in the long run by being honest. Okay. Accepted forms of payment, list those out. You know, if you do 30-day net, make sure that you put 30-day net title and escrow, or title, escrow, lenders, and attorneys only. I had to make that distinction early on in my career. You only allow title, escrow, attorneys, and lenders to hire you with a 30-day net. The reason being is because the general public will be like, can I pay in 30 days? And you're never going to see it. So you never offer the general public 30-day net. This is where you can get really creative with getting keywords in there, okay? And you can go through and put cash and all of those things. Just be descriptive. Every word you enter in on your listing is going to help you in the SEO algorithm. Credentials, okay? Here's where you get keywords that you can use, and you want to make sure that you do this on other sites as well. So you can see we've got the Notary to Pro tick box up here, but it's asking you for any credentials or awards. So you took Notary to Pro. And if you took the elite, I think there's 2 courses there. So you can do Notary Pro Elite. Oh, sorry. I wish I could spell elite. We're going to leave it at Notary Pro for right now. Then if you took loan signing system. Now, when my list pulls, it actually pulls from these, so it goes along with you. But we're talking about keywords that you can write in, what people are going to actually see. Okay, so you want to re-enter them in your credentials. If you took Bill Soroka's Sign and Thrive, now you know you got to start with the National Notary Association. All of these are keywords. You're getting that word notary in there, Notary to Pro, loan signing system, which means loan signing is in there. Your credentials are now working as keywords for you. Okay, even though you may think, okay, I paid this, I'm not getting anything. Guess what? They have additional value now. Loan signing system has the word loan signing in it. Sign and Thrive has the word sign in it. Notary to Pro has the word notary in it. Notary Stars has the word notary in it. Make sure you've listed all your credentials. Now, honors and awards. You can double dip here. You took National Notary Association, so credentials. Now you can say certified. See how I put that in 2 different areas? I got Notary to Pro, now I got Notary to Pro Graduate. I get to enter it twice because organically I'm talking about my credentials. Okay, don't just go Notary to Pro, loan signing system, make it change. Google will penalize you if you don't make it organic. Okay. So now we've gone through the listing details. Now we're going to go to the About Me. This is where you get to go really good and in depth with your bio. And this is where I want you to hyper focus on organically getting keywords into your listing. This is going to pull you up in the search rankings. And I promise before I stop this, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Okay. I'm just going to write a couple of words here. My name is Ronnie Mickle, and I am a Notary Public. All right. You see that I've put Notary Public and Loan Signing Agent here. I'm going to put you can all right. We've got some great information right here alone. You can verify my credentials as an Arizona notary. If your state allows you to, if you have a state website where they can go search, go find yourself and link it. You highlight the text, you click the word insert link, and you put the URL here, and then you put open in a new tab. If you are a Notary Star member, go out and find your listing, hyperlink it back. Even though it's your listing, hyperlink it back to your listing. Every link that you put out and every link that you put in there, you can even create a way for them to download your listings. But I like to do it this way. So let's say Notary to Pro, you're going to link what you're doing here is you're telling them, hey, you're on Notary Stars, you're looking at my listing. And what I usually tell people to do is make sure you click the box that says open in a new tab so they leave your listing opening. Every word that you type in here is going to give you SEO value. And I want you to write a great bio. I want you to work on getting a really good, strong bio, maybe a paragraph to a paragraph and a half. And then use those hyperlinks to go out. Say, verify my credentials here. Verify my signing agent profile. You all have a signing agent profile. If you process through SnapDocs or guess what? So let's see. So we have all these notaries in here. Go find your SnapDocs profile, and it'll tell you how many orders you've processed on SnapDocs, usually on the listing somewhere. So this one doesn't have it. Let's go to one that does, unless she hasn't done any orders. Usually it shows us, I may be clicking on quite a few new ones, but usually it shows us how many orders that they've done. Let's see, contact info. But you can also say that, you've worked with these other sites. Link your profiles from other sites to there. And SnapDocs has it, Signing Order has it. Use those to link out to other sites from your own website and from Notary Stars. It's going to give you SEO value because guess what? Now your listing is creating information. You're not sending them to anywhere other than what you want them to see about you. Use this opportunity on Notary Stars to really get your profile set up, spend some time on it, work on it, get better at it. I'm going to show you what mine looks like in a moment. Then you have your service areas, okay? Now, I've gone through this at least 1,000 times, and I'm going to keep saying it. The average person who goes to Google does not put in accounting. They're just, when's the last time you looked for a business within the county? You look, notary near me, car dealership near me, you put in the zip code because you don't want to go very far for what you need. We are in a society now where Airbnb, Lyft, Uber, DoorDash has now changed everything. We're now searching by zip code. Okay, so you want to make sure that you use zip codes. Now, I know this listing has 2 zip codes in it and a city. You get up to 4 plus your normal listing. Your regular listing at the very beginning comes with a zip code. Do not use the same zip code. Use this section to expand. Okay, so you want to use maybe like I put in there 85016 at the beginning. So I probably use 85015, 85018, 85020, where my PO box is. So I put it up there, and then Phoenix. But you want to use zip codes closer to you, and then maybe one city. When you use a county, sure, you may be thinking in your mind, I'm covering more area, but Google doesn't care because Google's running my site. It's running every single person's site. It's running your site. If you have a website built and you're focused more on keywords for the county, you're not going to come up when people are searching close to you. Okay, and I know this stuff like I know it. I built this company, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is now and show you. So my original listing, which is finished, when you go into Google search, and you cannot make this up, this is Notary 85013. As I scroll down, what's on the first page of Google here? Ronnie's Notary Star listing. Now, the only thing I can't give you is time. Time is a part of that SEO algorithm, but this is my completed listing that I've had up since we opened the site, and you'll see what that looks like now. So you can see how I've got links in my profile. I've got my business hours set up. I've got my credentials listed, got my website linked, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, phone number. These are all things that are helping my listing, okay? I live by this. I teach this in my marketing course. I'm going right back to right click on this. So I have my Notary Stars listing on there. But oh, what do I see on the first page of Google as well? A landing page for Unlimited Ink Notary. This is not the Unlimited Ink Notary website. This is the Unlimited Ink Notary website. But I have landing pages in every single zip code where people can book with me right now for General Notary. You can do this with your Notary Stars listing. You can get on the first page. Everybody can. And that